Hello there. I'm Dr. Sebastian Raven, and welcome to the Online Museum of Middle Eastern Military. In today's episode, we have this superb example of an early Afghan musket. Indeed, Afghanistan, perhaps amongst all the nations of the earth, has a long history of conflict, invasion, and war. The first historically recorded invasion of Afghanistan took place in 330 BCE at the hands of Alexander the Great. Indeed, Alexander found conquest of Afghanistan to be infinitely more difficult than that of even the great Persian Empire, famously quoted as having said, "Afghanistan is easy to march into, yet very difficult to march out of." And indeed, this would be an experience that many states would face once conflict started with Afghanistan. It took centuries more until the West invaded Afghanistan again. But indeed, in 1839, the First Anglo-Afghan War began when the British invaded from India. In 1842, they too found it extremely difficult to leave Afghanistan, fleeing an Afghani uprising. Indeed, 16,500 Britons and their supporters fled Afghanistan and were massacred to a man by muskets such as these, held by Afghan warriors in the hills and crevices as they knocked off the Britons one by one. Indeed, only one Briton, an assistant surgeon, returned to India alive. British India, that is.
How's it? Dr. Xavier H. de Montfort here again to show you more fascinating historical artifacts, this time all the way from Afghanistan. Over here we have a United States military hat issued in 2004 after the start of the Afghanistan war back in 2001. It was designed digitally for the specific purpose of working both in urban environments and in the desert. In contrast, we have hats worn by their enemies, the Mujahideen. It is made from wool to protect from the elements, and as you can see, it provides no camouflage at all. Unfortunately, this camouflage did not prove as effective as the United States hoped, and have since changed it to better suit the environments they are fighting in. As you can see, one is a protection from the elements, and one a protection from the enemy.
Indeed, the First Anglo-Afghan War was not to be the last experience that Afghanistan had of invasion by a foreign power. Despite their earlier experiences and that of Alexander the Great, in 1878, the British invaded again, launching the Second Anglo-Afghan War. But by 1880, they realized that direct rule of Afghanistan was indeed impossible, and chose to rule by proxy instead. Yet this was not to be the end, far from it. In 1979, the Soviet Union invaded Afghanistan, experiencing a horrific conflict, which some say was at least substantially responsible for the fall of that great empire. But that, too, was not to be the end. After the September 11th attacks in 2001, a United States-led coalition invaded, and the consequences of that conflict are still being felt today, the conclusion yet unresolved.
Hi there. Before we leave you today, we should remember that the war in Afghanistan is still going, with no near end in sight. Our hearts and our minds go to all those who have suffered and lost in this conflict, and we hope it reaches a safe and peaceful resolution very soon in the near future. Bye now, cheers, take care.
Indeed, perhaps the greatest lesson that history has to teach us is that if we heed what it has to say, we might not repeat the mistakes of the past. Oh, hello there. Thank you so much again for joining us for today's episode. And we hope that you've liked it both literally and figuratively. From the bottom of our hearts, we wish you a heartfelt goodbye. And to all of you,